Joining us now is child and adolescent psychologist and early show contributor, Jennifer Hartstein. Always good to have you with us. This is, you kind of look at this from the outside and you say, well, duh, it makes sense, but obviously it's not that easy. Why is it so important?
It's so important because it really is a protective factor for kids to be involved with both their parents. It really helps them develop in a healthier way, develop better self-esteem, better self-confidence. So it's better for the kids, but it's so difficult.
It is so difficult, and it can help with the way kids turn out. I think there are studies to show in broken homes, kids are 3 times more likely to be expelled from school, 5 times more likely to live in poverty or become criminals. So there's some incentive for you right there.
Absolutely.
We know how difficult it is. What's the #1 inhibitor? Is it the ego?
Yes and no. I think it's the emotion. The fact is that you were in a relationship with this person who you loved and thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and something went wrong. So there is hurt and resentment and anger and sadness tied up in that. So it's very hard to say, I still have to see you all the time because we have kids together, and put all of my own emotions aside. But that's really what you have to do.
In fact, that's the most important thing. You have 3 cardinal rules that you're going to walk us through for co-parenting.
Absolutely. So #1, you have to be respectful. It is very easy to use your kids as messengers, to fight your battles through your children. You can't do that. You have to respect that each one of you brings something to the table that's important to your children, and put that first.
And that includes not talking bad about the other parent.
Do not talk badly about the other parent at all. You badmouth them, you're modeling for your kids what they can do. That's not effective at all. #2, you want to be consistent. You want to really have the same rules at each house to the best of your ability. That way your kids know exactly what's going on. Kids are going to try and get over on parents who are married. They're going to try and get over on parents who live in separate homes. So the more consistent you are, the better, which leads into the idea that you have to communicate, because that way you're talking to one another. They have this event, they have that event, they're on punishment, they can't have their phone, whatever it is, so that everybody's on the same page.
It's interesting because those are rules that parents who are still together could really apply in so many ways too. What if, you mentioned the consistency factor, parents naturally have different ways of parenting. So how do you decide who wins out? How do you make that consistent?
Well, I think that's an argument, as you just said, that can happen in married families, right? So we have to think about, well, what's in the best interest of the kids? So it goes back to talking about it. What needs to happen? How do we help our kid the best way? Do they need to be home this weekend to do homework? Well, I want to take them to the ball game. Well, hey, we got to work it through. So it's really being able to say, what does our child need, and how do we give it to them?
And what about, there's always going to be somebody who thinks that they have the answer. Not that I would ever do that, but if one parent thinks I'm a better parent, can you make that other parent do what you want?
You have to compromise. You're going to have to suck up your own ego and really be able to work with the other parent to do what works.
And when you bring someone new into the relationship, we saw the family there. They vacation together with their new spouses,
right. Which is not the norm, I don't think, but it's an excellent way to be. And I think if you bring someone else in, they are now part of the family, and they get to have rights and say and be involved as well.
Ah, interesting. That's got to be tough for the other half, but
tough.
very important. Jen, you always have such great stuff. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Erica.